What's up, guys? Luca here. Lucatio, yes, the Ashen. Ooh, okay. The Ashen one, the Ashen Lucario. Oh my goodness, not me struggling. The Ashen Luca, yeah, I'm here with another episode of the show. Sorry for being late. I was dragging my way out of bed. Okay. I had to walk downstairs to grab a banana. All right. And then I had to grab some water as well. And then I had to share some tea with Slow Mo and the singer. So, but I'm here and I'm so happy to see you guys. What's up, Meat Puppet? Alpha Will saying, have a great show, Luca. Thank you. Blade X. The finest is another weekend for an amazing Scumcast pod. Let's go. Yes, appreciate you. Rigger says, my spoon is too big. I don't know what that's about. Blade X is like, how are you late to your own show? FTW says, what's up, people? Like, what's up? Okay. All right, let's go to YouTube and tweet the show out. Let me tell you something. I have nothing. I have nothing. Oh, what's up, singer?
What's up? What's up? What's up? How's it going?
It's good. It's good. What's up, Slow?
Doing good. I just got done training with Silver Sable. I feel like I can take on the world. So let's do it.
Nice. Okay, let's go ahead and get into these Xbox leadership changes. Okay, let me just go ahead and pull up the chart. Xbox leadership changes and what we think this means going forward, and also what we think about how it's seen. I mean, I don't know. People wanted to make like a big deal about Sony axing folks or axing, like an axing folks, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's normal in like businesses. Like sometimes people just lose their
It
jobs,
is.
man. I don't know. Go ahead.
And I'd also like to point out, I caught this before, how it was it one last episode? It was before then. But I said they lined in Sarah up to become Phil's replacement. And
Yeah,
I said
Slomo's been
that because.
saying this for years.
Yeah, exactly.
And now I
Everyone.
feel like they aren't. I feel like it's all smoke and mirrors. But go ahead, singer.
What, you just because she got made head of Xbox, that you don't
I,
think she's gonna take Phil's position once he retires?
I, here's the cynical side of me. I've been in the tech world for a little while now, and I see how uh, companies, no matter big or small, will have very talented and very very good people in very significant and important high positions, and these people will be black people. And then when you would think that, hey, when X person retires, that's their spot, and then it just never turns out that way. So
Oh, okay.
call me cynical,
I think
that when I look
actually
at
think
this group of white people here, that the black person is going to be the person that's going to ascend to the spot where Phil Spencer is. I would love to see it, but I'm gonna need to see it.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah,
yeah.
I think she's still gonna she's being lined up to take the presidency spot, because if you think about it like this, we never see any of these people. Like I don't know who the fuck the rest of these people are. We only ever see Sarah Bond. I feel like we barely see Matt Booty, but we see Sarah Bond, we occasionally see Aaron Greenberg, and we see Phil, like those are the
Mm-hmm.
three main faces that we see. So I do think it's completely plausible that she might be set to take over Phil's position eventually whenever he decides to retire. I think that she'd have to be sitting in the president's seat for a while. I definitely think the FTC case served as a okay, let's see what you can do under pressure sort of moment for
Oh,
Sarah and
she passed with flying colors when
flying colors,
when it came to that. Yeah, yeah.
So for me, I definitely think it's completely plausible that they will have her take over just because of how much we see her. Like she's very very prevalent. So I don't share the same amount of skepticism, but I'm
I
also
don't
at a
either.
company where my CEO is black and the board of directors is full of black people and women. So I just feel differently about it just based on how often we see this woman, all the time, okay?
The
All the
thing is,
time.
I think there is a chance because um even Microsoft was voted as one of the best places to live, to work or whatever, and I think they're going
Was
more
it?
they're going more for the inclusivity route, and she's perfect. And if you noticed at the showcase, it wasn't Phil the first person we saw. We had to wait all the way to the end for him. It was Sarah leading the show. Phil just capped it
It,
off at the end.
look, all this stuff is stuff I've been saying. So I understand.
I
I
know.
get it. I get it. Absolutely. I'm just telling you, like, don't be surprised if, like, at the beginning of, or maybe like the end of just this generation going into the next generation, let's say 2027, right? Phil is announcing his retirement, and then he's also announcing that Matt Booty is taking over. Like,
No,
just don't
there
be
is no
shocked if
way.
that is the
No, no,
case.
no, no, no.
I'm just,
There is no
I'm just
way.
trying to understand what changed your mind.
Just the way the world works when it
Okay,
comes to
but like
black
the
people.
world was racist before you had the thought that Sarah Bond would take over. So I'm just
And
like,
I've
what changed
changed
your
my
mind?
mind.
But what changed your mind?
I'm looking at this chart and I'm seeing a lot of white, and that's why I said, you know what? Yeah,
But
it's
then,
probably not going to go that way.
But it was
but
that
then,
white before you had the thought that Sarah Bond would take
And
over.
I looked at a chart. I didn't look at the chart before. Like, I don't understand why you're confused about me changing my mind on it,
I'm
because
okay.
it's
I mean, I don't know why you changed your mind. I get it, but I don't really get it considering like most companies have a bunch of white people in charge and you know that, but all right.
right. And as most people have, most companies have a bunch of white people in charge, and they have a glass ceiling to keep black people out. That's also why I'm saying it.
All right. Well, congratulations to African American and president of Xbox, Sarah Bond.
I mean,
Then Matt Booty.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, singer.
see, looking at this chart, right, you have to think Phil will probably get to pick his replacement, right?
Depending on how he does the rest of his time as CEO with
Yeah,
Xbox.
okay. Because I'm sure out of all the people to be promoted to president of Xbox, he probably made that decision, right? Sarah Bond to be president, head of Xbox.
Maybe.
So,
Yeah.
so if it is his decision, I mean, he can already talk to Satya, so he could probably be like, "I nominate Sarah Bond to replace me," or whatever, because he's gonna have that conversation with him when he
Hmm.
retires. So, I mean, I just think it's logical that she
I
takes
don't
over
think it'll be
because
his full decision to nominate who takes over for him. I do think Satya, and as well as the COO, will have some say in it. His name
oh
Amy
yeah,
Hood, I think.
Since
yeah,
when
Yeah.
do CEOs choose their replacements?
Say again.
Do CEOs actually choose their replacements?
I don't know.
I don't think CEOs get the option to choose their replacements. I think that's the
no,
board.
no, no, more like a recommendation
Oh, okay.
because Satya can. I just think it's the way she is always with Phil, always out there, always doing deals with Japan mainly, where Xbox struggles the most. Um, she's on that kind of thing. I just think she is going to be the ideal candidate to replace Phil. Because if you look across the board, I don't know who half those people are. I ain't never seen their faces before. First time. And would you put Matt Booty in charge, who can't manage any game studios, as head
Well,
of
they put him in
Xbox?
charge of Cinemax Media,
Well, yeah, because they probably wanted to get him away from Xbox
but
Game
you
Studios.
just said he can't manage any studios, and this dude just failed his way up.
Hey, but at least Bethesda can manage themselves, kind of, with Todd Howard, etc. Right? So you don't need as much,
Todd
super.
Howard only runs Bethesda Game Studios. He's not managing any of the other 7 studios that's under the ZeniMax umbrella. Now, that's Matt
True.
Booty.
But well, we'll have to
Matt
see
Booty,
how it
who only
goes,
gave
right?
you Pentiment last year.
Good game, by the way. But yeah, he
Very
did
good
only give
game,
us
but
Pentiment.
one game last year. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
Yeah,
the chat is saying it's the board. Yeah, it's the board
yeah.
that chooses the next CEO. So I don't know where you're getting this idea that Phil's gonna choose,
No, no, no.
because they
It,
don't do
it,
that.
it, it was the wrong choice of words. More
Yeah.
like a suggestion or when Phil's finally checking out, he has to go talk to Satya and whatnot. And he might, just in passing, it's like, oh, Sarah Bond.
and Satya could be like, hey, we love Sarah. She's great. She's been excellent with us ever since 2017 when she came in here. She's awesome. But she's awesome where she is. I don't know if everyone feels so awesome about Sarah where you are.
But also,
That's a
he is on
conversation that can absolutely happen. So I'm just
the
saying,
the
I'm
other
not
side of
saying
the.
it will happen. I'm saying it wouldn't shock me if
But if
yeah.
you've been listening to Satya though, he's been on this being inclusive kick recently, outwardly to the public. Now, what
Outwardly to the
better?
public means what, Singer? You know what Bungie says outwardly to the
Ah,
public? That they're inclusive. We know they're not inclusive?
well, no, because we know the
Because
faces
people
that
say
represent the
all
brand.
kinds of stuff to the public because they want you to feel like, yeah, I agree with you. Absolutely. I love LBGTQ 445, organizations. And in the back, they call them everything under the sun.
But then
What
again,
they say in the public don't mean nothing.
how many of these publishers and brands and whatnot have a African American female being the head of their brand?
Oh, that's a good
You
one,
can't
Jagger.
name one.
How many have
Uh,
an
oh
African
my god.
American that they've in that's like a
That is
forward-facing African American in their
that is a
brand? Okay.
president. Yeah, president of
No,
a gaming company.
I can't think of anyone else. I do remember there was a company that hired a African American woman to be their diversity chief,
Yeah, but that's different from being a president of
and
something
and
that
then
Yeah,
has
and now
nothing to
she's
do with
suing them
race.
for racial discrimination. I don't think just because you put someone in a high role that means that you're also going or fine with putting them at the top role.
I just think she's going to
It's the
get it.
tech industry, and in the tech industry, I've seen a lot. There's a ton of glass ceilings all over the place.
There
So
is, but if rumors are to be believed about the working conditions at Microsoft, it could possibly happen. I mean,
yeah, that absolutely could possibly happen. And she,
like
out of everyone that's on that chart, seems not only seems but appears to be capable. And she seems the most likely person that would take that role if Phil were to retire, say today, right? But just saying, don't be shocked if that's not the case.
well, I'm not going to be as cynical as Slomo, and I'm going to keep the optimism alive. So,
Okay. Changing my name now.
great. Wait, where did Luca go?
I'm
I
still
don't know.
here. I'm just looking
Oh,
at some of the members of the board, uh, to see if I recognize them from anything.
Mm, you probably wouldn't. And I do think I think Mike Ybarra is probably going to take Bobby Kodak's position there. You can see Bobby
yep.
Kodak is still there, and we already know he's not going to be there by January. So I think that's Mike Ybarra would be the perfect fit for it because he showed up after all of the real nasty stuff came out about what ABK had done. I mean, he had been there when it came out, but he wasn't there when it was happening. And he's also a known commodity within Microsoft, even though apparently he and Phil Spencer don't get along, but he ain't got to work directly with Phil. So
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll be the perfect person to kind of take that position. But we'll see what happens.
I mean, I could see it. Imagine if Rod Ferguson gets the job. Oh man.
Oh, we haven't heard from Rod in quite some time.
Well, he's too
Yeah,
busy with Diablo, right?
Yeah.
yeah. I think he's more of a he's a director. He's a games guy. I don't know if I mean
You
look,
don't
this is
think he'll?
I don't know the guy, right? But it just seems like he's less willing to be an executive and he wants to make games, you know? It just
Okay, yeah.
like, I wouldn't even know if he would want to like take over Blizzard if Ybarra was able to was then asked to take over all of ABK and he did that and that role would be open. I don't even know if he would want to do that. He just seems like a guy that wants to make games, but
No,
that's
he'll
just my opinion of
probably
him.
take over Blizzard. I could see him take over Blizzard, but not the whole thing.
No, not the whole thing. He like leapfrog Mike Ybarra to take over the whole
Yeah,
thing. That would be odd.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I could see my bets on Mike Barra being head, and then he'll take over Blizzard, and everything will be hunky dory.
Yeah, Blade X, the bots love Sarah Vaughn. Like they love her, so that's
I
not
mean,
even a
everyone
problem.
seems to love her.
That is not even a problem. They are
Like,
always trying to talk to her on Twitter. I'm just like, what are they doing? Too
no,
much.
I
What's up,
it's not
Raja?
just it's not just the bots. I see the ponies and everyone. Like everyone seems to love Sarah Bond. Like I never see anyone criticizing her or bad comments. Like
Yeah, I
The
mean,
first
Phil,
time I ever seen some criticism of her was with her promotion. It was people that
wow,
wasn't in this community that we haven't seen.
yeah, yeah,
It's your typical ugliness of Twitter. People were
mm-hmm.
saying she was a diversity hire. People were saying, "Oh, so this is what they're doing over at Xbox." Okay, Xbox is clearly dead now. It's just like people who don't know anything about her. They can see a black woman and they just see head of Xbox, and they immediately went to the she's not qualified. This is an affirmative action hire, like all kinds
No,
of stuff like that.
but she
And
has a solid
yeah,
body of work. Like the
they just
re
don't know,
the
man. They don't know.
they don't know her. They don't know her.
like
So
yeah, because
it's their prejudice on display. That's all.
a lot of the Japanese games you could thanks to her because she was in charge of relations with Japan, bringing the Japanese games over. So she would have had to handle all these Yakuza and Persona, and so it's like okay, well, Japan seems to like her as well. So hey, that's a bonus.
Yeah,
Um,
it's great, man. Like I honestly speaking, I'm really happy for her. That's an excellent role to have, and I hope she continues going up. I hope it's only up from here, and she continues to be as great as she has been. And, shout out to the other people who are also promoted. Getting a promotion it always rocks, but with it comes a lot more pressure. And
Hmm.
we'll see if they are up for the task. I'm very curious to see how all of this goes with all of these updated hires. Okay. What else did I want to talk about there? Okay, let me just pull this up here. All right. But yeah, what's up, Ripper? Uh, what's up, Froggy? Oop, did not mean to pull that up. Lionel, what's goody? Jeff, Mike, blessed, Phil. Um, what's up, Foxy? How's it going? Um, but Gregor said in a shocking twist to current times, a redheaded woman will get the job over Sarah Bond. All right, what's up, Ronald? Mr. Glass, Dion, Meat Puppet, Breesky. What's goody, my boys? How we doing? Um, all right, let's talk about Mary Sue Wick. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. Finally, after beating the game, people are speaking up about some concerns they had about Mary Jane's inclusion in this title, and the director of the game came out and stated that he didn't give a fuck. He did not give a fuck about what people think about her being OP because they deliberately made her OP. Now there were a bunch of folks who were trying to make excuses and trying to explain away the ridiculous things that she was able to do, right? But at the end of the day, It just comes down to them choosing to make her overpowered because they don't fucking care. They don't care if it makes sense.
Mhm.
They don't care if people don't like it. They don't care. They don't give a shit, man. So, what are our thoughts on that?
I found it fascinating that I earlier this week I said that they probably came down to two choices, and one was to just not do Mary Jane missions at all based upon the obvious feedback from the previous game that everyone hated them universally, or to double down on those missions and try to make them better. If we make them better, maybe they'll like them, but not really caring that people didn't want to play them, period. Like, didn't want to play a game where they're in control of Mary Jane. They wanted to be in control of a Spider-Man or a Miles Spider-Man or a Spider Person with spider powers, but not freaking MJ with none of that. Um, and they pretty much just showed they just don't care how you feel. They want to dictate to you what you're gonna like and not like. And so although I will absolutely acknowledge that those missions are in Spider-Man 2 are better than the missions were in 2018, significantly so. Uh, it still doesn't change the fact that people didn't want to play as Mary Jane.
Exactly. Do you have any
And
That's
thoughts? Oh, sorry.
yeah,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, I'm done. Go
that's
ahead.
that's what I got from it when the article was made OP. I don't care. It's like, well, the fans told you we don't like Mary Jane missions. You went ahead and put them in anyway. So that does show some arrogance. But then I don't know. It's just weird. Why would you make her? She's not a superhero. Why would you make her OP? Like she's a
Because
regular.
you have to make her more capable because she's a hero in her own right.
No,
Here's the
she's not.
no, that's
Yeah,
what he
I
said.
know, I
That's what he
know,
said.
I know, I
Um,
know.
here's the thing. I think I'm gonna keep it real with you. This game has a lot of elements that are more on the liberal side. We're not gonna talk about how they were removing certain LGBT material in some of the releases in different sides of the world. We don't have to discuss that, but
Oh,
um,
shocker.
Oh yeah, no,
mhm.
right?
And the only color that matters,
Green.
green.
And not
Absolutely,
Xbox Green because they don't make that enough money. No, what they do now because they got ABK. But the kind of green, just cash,
yeah.
money,
The only thing that matters.
paper.
So this game is veering more towards the liberal side. So it's from the very beginning. I definitely think she was given Lois Lane's job. She was more assertive, more back talky to Peter last game, right? And now in this one, like, okay, let's just make her OP. We're gonna do what we want. And like they discussed how they wanted to show like different sides and different perspectives for some reason. I don't know why, but I think it was a diversity thing, honestly speaking. I think it's like some let me push that woman can be strong and great too. And let's do it in like the
Hmm.
worst way possible. There are spider women that exist, right? Am I crazy?
Yep, there is
Am I
Yep.
Spider
crazy?
Gwen. Yep.
Spider Gwen. There's Silk. There is
Mm-hmm.
Spider Woman. Jessica Drew. Yeah. There's Mayday, which is the daughter of Peter and MJ that also has spider powers. Yeah, there's Spider
Yeah,
Woman in the Spider Universe.
there's plenty, but like you play a Spider-Man game to play as Spider-Man. I don't play a
Exactly.
Batman. I don't play a Batman game and want to play as what's the butler's name?
Alfred.
Alfred. Like I don't want to do any Alfred missions. Can you imagine? No, 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 no. I want to play as Batman.
I
Come on.
don't know. Does Alfred have red hair? Is your woman? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Oh man. Like,
Go ahead. Continue.
so I don't know why are they gonna put some MJ missions in Wolverine? I mean, you know, I mean,
If she shows up in Wolverine, starting shooting people, shooting the hand, I am dying. I'm gonna be. Oh my god, be so. Matter of fact, please do that. Just so I can watch the world burn. Just go ahead and do it, Insomniac. You already got all the assets made. Just put her in there.
At this point, who knows? But they're probably gonna keep it up. You're gonna have the strong female character type thing going on in Wolverine. Watch, they'll do it. They'll do it.
And the crazy
The
thing
exact
is,
same way.
like, I feel like modern day when it comes to showing the concept of a quote unquote strong woman, it includes her doing all this random shit that she should not be able to do, right? Because she's just a human, and she wasn't properly vetted or trained for that outside of what, like 6 months was Sable or what, however long it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, which is not a long enough to.
Throwaway comment. Hey, I did training with Silver Sable. I can do this. As she takes out hunters that have been killers their entire life.
Right? So for me, like, I feel like they think that being someone's girlfriend, being supportive, just being there for Peter, in that role as a supportive, significant other is somehow demeaning or diminishing. And you know what's interesting? Gregor had a
It's
great
true.
comment. Let me see if I can find it. Gregor, do you hold on? Let me. Oh, I can find it. I'm on the video. Gregor had a great comment. He said, I might sound crazy, but if they wanted her to be playable, she should have been the actress version of MJ, and her gameplay should have been the Mysterio missions. That way, her stun gun is taking out enemies that aren't real. Then her running from symbiotes makes her actually look more helpless because reality would contrast the illusions. And I'm just like, that's a fucking fantastic idea. Like, that is something that actually makes sense in the realm of the game. You know, at the end of the day, she is just a normal human. She shouldn't be able to do the things that she was doing based solely off the fact that she was just sitting on her ass writing fucking reports, man. Sharing the news, you know? It's not like they had her on, listen, spoilers for Spider-Man 2. We're going to get into it. They had her on that fucking bike zooming about, all right? She crashed the bike and the bike ended up motorcycle. It's a motorcycle. She crashed the motorcycle, ended up sliding against the ground, perfectly fine. Chill, gets up, runs away. She ended up trying to climb a ladder. A behemoth shows up, knocks her ass off the ladder. She falls down across the room. She can get up. She's perfectly fucking
She got
fine.
right back up.
Perfectly fucking fine, right? And I'm just over here scratching my head like, okay, like, what is going on, you know? And that was honestly the part that was most egregious to me, because it's like there's a way to display the concept of a quote unquote strong female character without it being completely and utterly ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, the fact that fucking Craven came out and was just like, yeah, guys, you are being stalked all night by the little redheaded woman. Yeah, she's been hunting y'all. What's good? What? Come on, man. Like, it's fucking ridiculous, dude.
Are any of the villains like scared of her? Please tell me no. Like, you don't fight any bosses or anything with MJ.
Well,
okay, because
the behemoth had the boss bar, right? Slomo?
Say again?
The behemoth had the boss enemy bar?
Yeah, it did, yeah. So I guess that was a boss fight, yeah.
Wait, so she straight up fought Behemoth?
A behemoth, yes.
A behemoth, yeah. Okay, how does that work exactly?
Well, she has this gun that she got from Sable, and she's able to shoot folks, and you know, they gave her the ability to
it
stun
started
enemies.
out as a stun gun. It's a transformer, actually. It's one of the transformers. I think it's an Autobot, and so it started out like it was impersonating a stun gun, but because it's an alien, it's a transformer. Like, it was taking these hunters out like one shot, two shots. She just stunned them in the back of the head. They don't even hear her. It also has the ability to dampen her footsteps, so like they could hear nothing. And then later on in the game, it realized that it needed to be be more for her. So he transformed to when now I'm saying spoilers. Okay, look, I'm not gonna say
we're
that.
in spoilers. We're in spoilers. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So like, when symbiotes start showing up and they needed the sonic weakness of the symbiote, her gun transformed into that too. Because it could do that, and she didn't even know it could do it. She was shocked when she shot the first one and it just, the symbiote just disappeared. It's crazy. So then she was just like, "Oh, bet. All right, thanks." Transformer gun. I think his name is like Bebop or something. You know how like they got these random names for Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
So and then it just went on. It was a great little relationship. The gun, didn't talk. It was kind of like Bumblebee, but it just made sounds. Yeah.
Okay, so a superhuman alien gun beat the
Behemoth, yes.
Behemoth.
Either way, I that is beyond ridiculous, and I absolutely hate every second of it because that is what the hell.
What's up, Nautical?
What it do? How you
Baby
guys doing
boo?
today?
Okay, I'm gonna let
So-
you finish eating, man. Like, we'll get
Yeah,
back to you.
basically. I don't know why he keeps doing this. Yeah.
No,
But-
I was
Um,
no. I literally was just like about to choke on some water that I was drinking.
Oh,
So,
okay. All right. Yeah. So, like, yeah. So I don't know. They had her doing all this ridiculous shit while Peter and Miles are over here struggling to
okay.
knock folks out, knock normal fucking humans out, man. And
So
it's just like I understand that they hold back a lot of their power, but at the same time, it shouldn't be like you having to hit them 30 times. I played on a normal difficulty, and it still took maybe like 6, 7 hits to get these guys to go down. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Question is, let me ask you this: how many? How many? So I'm about 9. I don't know. I just basically finished probably the part where Mary Jane, where you're going through the first time you play as Mary Jane, I take it, where you're trying to free Connor and stuff. So I just did that.
Mhm.
I just did that scene. And then right now I stopped at where you go see Miles's dad at the cemetery, at his cemetery and stuff. So that's where I stopped at last night at 3:00 in the morning. It wasn't that, like, I didn't think, now if it's more as outlandish than what that is, then yeah, absolutely. Because the stuff that you guys are saying I haven't gotten to yet, I didn't heard about those things. But the thing that I experienced, like the little stealth, the little sneaking around and stuff, and using the cloaking device to hide herself, I thought that was all pretty cool. I thought that was like, I said, okay, if this is basically what what you're going to use her as, that's okay. I still don't want to play as her, but if this is the extent of it, okay, I'm good with that. But if it's more than that, and it sounds like it is, listening to you guys, it sounds, listening to Luca's video earlier, it sounds like she turned into like a version of She-Woman and stuff, and she's like out here
off, dude.
She's really OP like that later in the game.
Yeah.
Oh
Mhm.
man, that's nuts, man. I thought, because when I heard everybody talk, I said, man, it's not that bad. I was like, if this is the extent of how they use her in the game when it comes to like basically saying this is gonna be like the slow you down pace, like compared to like the all out rush that you get running around the city as Miles and Peter. I said, okay, that's a good breakup. I could deal with that. But if it turns into her being like something that she's truly not, and they already pushing the envelope, we're having her sneak around facilities and stuff with a taser, it's kind of crazy that she's doing that much. But if it's more than that, then they kind of jumped the shark completely with the character at this point.
Like, they really made it so she couldn't be beat. Like, when the behemoth showed up, I was fucking shocked. I was shocked. I was like, no way they're gonna have it so she beats this behemoth. Like, because not once, not once did I think that Miles or Peter were gonna show up in order to help with this behemoth. I was like, they're gonna really have her beat this thing. Like, seriously? I was completely thrown off, and honestly speaking, I was just like, "Okay, and they had, like, Peter knocked out for a significant period of time so Miles and, MJ could hold off the symbiotes and hold off Venom and save him because he's now the quote unquote damsel in distress. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of like, all right, cool. That's fine, I guess. Whatever. Okay, I'm gonna show you what the symbiote looks like. The behemoth looks like a singer, so you can get an idea. It's this.
Yeah. It's how the images are saw because he has various different looks, but
Mhm.
yeah, like how is a regular person supposed to 1v1 that?
Oh
Man,
no, she had this. She had the sound barrier or the
She
sound
had her
barrels around
transformer, man.
and her transformer gun, so she could do
Yeah.
it. Like it makes perfect sense, actually.
so they make that woman not have no fear, basically. Because I'm sorry, if I see something like that walking towards me with no superpowers, I'm out of there.
Yeah, like if I'm Spider-Man, I'm like, okay, let's go. But if I'm not, then nah, we're good. We're good. I'm out because you can't win
And
then.
and if you got a problem with it, apparently, according to Insomniac, yeah, she's OP probably. I don't give a shit. I don't care. It's
And
whatever.
honestly speaking, there's like nothing we can really do about it. Like we can talk about it all
Yeah.
we want, but the game still sold 2.5 million in
And it's gonna keep selling.
24
Yep.
hours. It's gonna still keep selling. That shit is fucking gangbusters, man. Especially with the holiday
Yeah.
season coming up. Oh my god, that game's gonna sell insanely well. And it
And
scored a 90 with critics and a 91 with users. Like no matter what complaints and critiques we have, that shit doesn't matter. They're gonna keep doing whatever they want to do because they're successful. Because the only say it with me, the only color that matters is green. All right. They don't
Yes.
care about what anyone else thinks because, and they've said it, but like we actually do not care about what you guys think. And this is one instance where the name of the brand and also the fact that it is genuinely a good game is going to
yes, it's
save
very good.
developers from having that kind of mentality. They are the only ones I've seen so far that can have that kind of mentality of a we can do whatever the fuck we want in the gaming space because they actually back it up with their success. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like a Saints Row situation where it's like fuck you, we'll do what we want and ended up being a failure and getting shut down, right? Which there was other things that went into that. It wasn't just Saints Row failing. Like, come on, please. You know what's crazy? The fact that I have to use clarifying statements for everything. Like, I've known this for years now, but it's like some things that are like common sense and obvious. Like, you really got to point it out for people because if you don't point it out, they're going to think that you don't know. And then they're going to get the host. I'm so much smarter than this person because, you know. And another thing, let's talk about that for a second. People being like, I guess people weren't paying attention to the story. I guess people just don't understand what they were trying to do with the story. That kind of thing. I mean, did you get called on during English class to read the sentence to read from the book? Did you get called on and you were the only one who could read it properly while little Johnny next to you was stuttering and spitting over the words? Is that it?
Poor little
And ever
Johnny.
since then, you've been puffing your chest out like, yeah, I can understand and comprehend things better than the next person. When it's a basic fucking story, is that it? I'm just curious because this is not fucking Crime and Punishment. All right, this isn't Madame Bovary. Okay, this isn't The Scarlet Letter. All right, I read all those books by the way. Okay, just throwing that out there.
She learned it.
It's a basic story. Like I understood exactly what they were trying to do. I'm not stupid. I just because the fact that I can understand what they were trying to do, I can just say, okay, well, I don't really like it, you know? Now, ultimately and overall, I did enjoy the game. I had a great time with it. There are certain aspects of the story I didn't like. I don't like the direction they took Peter's character at the end. He was very I feel like they nerfed Peter in order to uplift Miles, honestly speaking. Uplift Miles and clearly uplift MJ. And made it so it's like, okay, I need people to save me. But the crazy, like, to show that he couldn't do it by himself. But the crazy thing is, if there's this concept of teamwork and I can't do this by myself, then why did Peter decide to abandon Miles at the end? Miles, who throughout the entirety of the game is struggling to write his college essay because who is struggling to balance his social life and to balance the responsibilities of Spider-Man. already with Peter's help, right? He has Peter's help as he's struggling with this stuff. Why then at the end of the game with this push for we're all a team, we're all in this together, did they decide to have Peter say, hey, okay, so I'm giving up. I'm not Spider-Man anymore. I can do better as Peter Parker now. Like, what? What the fuck is that? Just to show like Miles is stronger, Miles is better. Miles is in the exact same situation that Peter was when he first started being Spider-Man, except Miles has the potential to have help. There is enough room in the story for 2 Spider-Men. I don't like that direction, especially since there's only been 2 games from Insomniac with Spider-Man, you know?
Wait,
Well, I
Luca.
think they
Luca,
did
hang
that
on.
because hold on. I think they did that because they're making room for more Spider-Man, and that's where the kind of extra credit scenes come in, because they have already kind of seeded the notion that you're going to get another superpowered spider person that's also going to be there helping Miles. So, but they kind of wanted to create a scenario where Peter walks away, so that there is room for that, because you don't want too many of them. You don't want like 3 or 4 spider people, and that becomes too much of a story to try to manage. So they're letting Peter walk so that they can focus on Miles and another.
All
So,
right. Real
So
quick though,
yeah.
shout out to Phil DVJ saying or DVG that is saying Abby versus Insomniacs MJ Watson. Who's winning? If MJ
MJ.
has
Yo,
that
Abby
gun,
better run.
MJ.
Abby
Okay.
Yeah.
better run.
I think we had this conversation a while ago or an episode ago, when we were talking about the ending and how they might retire Peter and then pass the crown off to Miles. And I was in the camp of, at the end of the game, Miles will become just the main Spider-Man and Peter will disappear. So is that what happened at the end?
I
Miles
mean,
is now the only
I guess we're in full spoiler territory at this point, really. At the end, Peter decides that the way he phrases it is that he's going to take a break from being Spider-Man so that he could have
okay.
more time to be Peter Parker and build up this Emily May Foundation, which is that the name of the foundation is giving like paying homage to his Aunt May, and Emily is Emily Osborn, who is Norman Osborn's wife who died.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the foundation that's all throughout the game, and it gets destroyed, but due to all the stuff that goes on, and Peter wants to take it and revitalize it and do the good that they intended to do in the world with it. So that's his goal. And he feels as if, story-wise, he feels as if he can't do that effectively while also being Spider-Man. And now he doesn't need to be Spider-Man because he's got Miles. And all throughout the game, he was saying little things like when there's a whole part where Martin Lee, who's one of the main villains of the first game, and Martin Lee has a pretty good story arc in this game. And in the end, in the end of that story arc, Peter says to Miles, wow, I was never able to accomplish that with one of my nemesis, And so he all throughout the story, he kept saying things like that would lead you to believe that he feels like Miles doesn't need him, or that
Okay.
Miles is growing up and Miles is no longer the apprentice anymore, that he's running, he can do things on his own. And so all that kind of culminates into the end. And then there's this extra credit scene where Miles's mom earlier in the game tells him that like she's ready to start dating again after Miles's father dies. And so there's this guy she's dating that Miles hasn't met yet. And so there's the extra credit scene where they're about to have dinner, and Haley, his girlfriend, comes over. That's the girl that's deaf. There's an actual whole mission in the game. I think it's very, very well done, by the way, where you play as Haley, and she's like trying to investigate someone who's like tagging buildings, and throughout the entire mission, you hear things as she hears things. So basically, you're not hearing anything except
Yep.
like a very small little like whatever sounds around the world is very, 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 very tiny to her. And
Okay, real
it's
quick.
like,
Real
yeah.
quick, if you didn't hear it the first 3 times we fucking said it, we're doing spoilers, okay? I said it like 10 minutes ago. I said it 5 minutes ago, and Slomo said it right before I stepped away. So we're doing spoilers for Spider-Man 2. If you don't want to be spoiled, I'm hopefully Nautical stepped away. Hopefully he stepped away because he's still playing the game. But we're doing spoilers for Spider-Man 2. That means spoilers for the entire game, okay?
Oh yeah, I muted
mean-
I muted y'all for a while while Slumbo
Alright,
was saying
well,
that, so I
Again,
didn't
I'll
hear.
text you when we're done.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
still here. Just let me know.
All right. So yeah, to get to the point, Cindy Moon was introduced at the very end of that last cutscene. They didn't show her face; they just show like the back of her head, because her father apparently is the person that is dating Miles' mom, which definitely means that Silk, that's who Cindy Moon is in the comics, Silk will be introduced in Insomniac's games at some point. Don't know if it's going to be a Miles Morales 2 or if a Spider-Man 3 is just mostly a story focused on Miles or not. I don't know. But
What's up,
I-
Tracy?
or
Okay.
it's going to be DLC. It probably will be DLC. Maybe she'll show up in that too. But yeah, there
Well,
you go.
from what you told me about the ending, I'm thinking then 3 is just going to be Miles, because they already had his own story with Miles Morales.
Yeah.
You know,
no,
Yeah.
to get people.
Peter's gonna show up like halfway through probably because some disaster is gonna occur, and it turns out Miles does actually need help. Oh my god! And you know
And,
what's crazy? He said that comment like I don't know if you mentioned this, Slomo, because I wasn't listening for maybe like 30 minutes to 30 seconds to a minute, right? But he's all like,
Mhm.
"Well, I never was able to reform any of my villains." Mind you,
I
we're
did.
sitting
Yeah,
in
I didn't bring that up. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, he
Tombstone,
said that.
Sandman, and Mysterio have all been fucking reformed in this game. So what the fuck are you talking about? Why would they have him have that? They had him say that stupid ass untrue line just so they could prop Miles up once again. It's bullshit, man. But continue.
Also, he is anti-Venom. Now in the comics, Eddie Brock, who is anti-Venom, but Eddie Brock doesn't exist in the Insomniac universe at all. So they made Peter anti-Venom as a way of, I think, of trying to level the playing field, because playing as Peter isn't as fun as playing as Miles, because Miles has all the other powers that Peter doesn't have naturally as Spider-Man. And so they gave him the anti-Venom stuff, which is like initially is basically the same move set and abilities you have when you have the symbiote suit, except it's anti-Venom, which in the comics was like a side effect to, I think, Eddie Brock having like a cancer that he had developed from being Venom and having the symbiote for so long. So there's that.
What's the trophies and clips? Yeah. Okay.
Just real quick. So
Yeah.
Peter has that ability now forever. So he's now kind of OP himself, and so they do bring him back in, he'll just be showing up with that ugly looking anti-Venom look, because the way it looks so weird. It looks like
looks wet.
well, yeah, it looks like white wet bird shit or
Oh,
something. I don't know.
whoa.
It just looks weird. It looked better when it was black, but because it's anti-Venom, so it's the opposite of the color scheme. It looks weird. I hope they kind of change the way it looks in later games, but
So I have a
he's got
question.
that now.
I've not read any Miles Morales books. I'm assuming you have.
Yeah, I've read.
Okay,
I haven't read all of it, but yeah.
Does Miles? Okay, and I'm gonna assume that he does because there is a Carnage suit. Does Miles have a storyline featuring Carnage?
I don't know. I've never read anything where he had any storylines with Carnage.
Okay, because he has
So,
this really cool suit in the game. Like, it is such a cool fucking suit, in
oh
the
yeah, with
game
the Carnage look to it, yeah, it
with the
looks
Carnage
cool.
look. So it just makes me wonder
Yeah,
if he's ever like fought Carnage. Because I'm assuming that these suits are based off like the movies and aspects of the comics. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, some of them are just cool designs. I mean, like, look, they're making a Wolverine game, and Miles has a Wolverine kind of paying homage to Wolverine kind of outfit where it's like a hoodie, and he's got the Wolverine mask, and
oh
the
no,
hoodie
no,
has
dude,
the.
he there's a comic where he was Wolverine.
There's a comic where Miles was Wolverine.
Yeah,
Huh? Oh, okay. All right, didn't know that.
it was a
I
what if.
Oh, okay. I got it. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
cool. I
I
thought they were
also
just
have
doing it because they're making the Wolverine game, but
I also have another question. Um, Jack brought up a good point, and I was wondering if it is true. Spider-Man 2 disguises lame side content with heartwarming story, so you don't say it was boring as hell. So the examples he gave was, I helped that gay couple find love. I helped the guy with dementia reunite with his daughter. I gave this blind lady the pet she always wanted, and then apparently Black History. I don't know what that's about.
oh, there's a whole there's a entire arc where like Miles's mom is she's like a councilwoman, and she's trying to save this historical museum for black music, and there's a part where like a bunch of thieves steal everything from the museum is about to get shut down, and Miles, investigates, goes, finds the stuff, beats the people up, and finds the person that was behind it all. And then at the end, you get to go through the museum as it was supposed to be, and it's a mix of real facts about real black artists and the things that they did with a mix of like fictional things about their universe as well. So it's yeah.
All
I,
right,
I
real
if
quick. So,
mhm.
the Absolute Carnage suit debuted in the Absolute Carnage Miles Morales issue 3. And the Dark Ages suit was when there's an alternate universe that was knocked into the Dark Ages. Miles Morales bonds with both Venom and Carnage at the same time.
Okay.
They're really just doing anything with these fucking comics, dude. They're just doing
Yeah, this
anything.
this this sounds like this is definitely post me no longer reading Marvel, because at one point I stopped reading Marvel because everything became a crossover, and all the stories for every book that they release was just basically just, if it wasn't tied into or leading up to one of their like 3 to 4 crossovers they were doing annually, it was getting dropped. I mean, I was reading some books with Marvel, and they were like good stories, and the story would just the story arc would end up incomplete because, oh hey, we got to do Secret Wars 2, and we got to destroy the entire universe and recreate it. And so nothing that happened right before then even freaking matters. It's just like, well, why was I even reading this? So I just stopped reading Marvel after that, because everything seemed to be, especially once Kevin Feige was shadow running Marvel Comics, that like they were just writing stories that would end up being uh good material for them to adapt into the MCU. And so I
Yeah.
was just like, this is not what I got into comics for back when I was 10 years old. This is some bullshit. So I just stopped reading. So
That
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 sounds like
Mar- that
something that
Miles
came out afterwards.
Yeah, that Miles Morales Wolverine run is from like a year ago. So they're
of
really of
yeah,
course.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah, of
it's
course.
just so yeah, I had an issue with that. I mean, I did not with anything we just talked about, right? But I had the issues with them nerfing Peter, with Peter saying stupid shit like I've never reformed a villain when the entire you saving Tombstone, Sandman, and Mysterio, whose villains were they if not yours, Peter? Hmm? Let's turn this on. Turn your fucking brain on, okay? Like I said, they only had him saying that stupid shit in order to uh make Miles look better. Now, to answer your question, Jack, or not answer the question from Jack Singer. The missions in this game were fine. Like The only one I was slightly annoyed about was when you had to chase those fucking falcons. And guess what? You can skip those. You can skip
Yeah, you don't
those.
have to do
I
those.
skipped
Yeah.
all of them. All right. I was like, I'm not chasing these fucking birds around. It's not happening. You're not gonna have me chasing birds in 2 games. All right. It's not happening. So I skipped it. The quest where you're helping the gay kids out, that's a Miles Morales side quest. So, they really are about the inclusivity when it comes to all of that stuff. And so they had Miles helping one of his classmates ask his boyfriend to prom, and then, or not prom, homecoming. And then they had another one where you're helping the like photography club take pictures to sell brochure, or not sell, to put in the brochures for the school. And then they had another one where you had to rescue a mascot, and that include like a bunch of puzzles and stuff. Um, it was fine. Did I wanna be doing those quests? Not really, but I did them.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do think the payoff for the reveals you get at the end once you complete them all are they could be definitely worthwhile if you're a fan. And so like for example, the chasing the birds thing. Once you you chase the birds and then you get like a target that the hunters were after, and it doesn't make any sense because they're like regular people that they were targeting and not like super villains like Craven was mostly targeting, until you find out that all of them are one person and it's all the chameleon that they were after the whole time. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then apparently the chameleon is Craven's half brother. So you see that part of it. There's the spider bots, and if we finish all the spider bots, there's a whole Easter egg about the Across the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse, Beyond the Spider-Verse Sony movies, and they name drop Miguel from that. And
Yeah.
I think and then the cult, the flame cult, the leader of the flame cult is Cletus Cassidy.
Cletus Cassidy, aka Carnage, which is fucking
Yeah.
awesome. That was like the coolest reveal in my opinion.
Yeah. And he
So
gets a symbiote at the end. So
yeah.
you already know where that's going. So
Mhm.
So yeah. I mean, overall great game. Like I said, those were my issues with it. It was a good game though, overall. Will I play the next Spider-Man? Probably. Probably, yeah. I'm definitely on that Wolverine though, day one, right? So, okay, moving on from the spoilers, let's talk about this. We actually are gonna talk about it. Let me text Nautical and tell him he can come back. Um,
I mean, who's surprised?
not even.
nobody. Absolutely no one.
Come on now.
It was either one of two countries that I thought that it was going to be censored, and it was either this one or China. So I was right. Yeah.
All right, so Spider-Man 2 reportedly censored in Saudi Arabia. All
Yo,
right.
I'm back.
All right, what's goody? Sony released a censored version of Marvel's Spider-Man 2 so that the open world action game can get an official release in Saudi Arabia.
They
Okay.
censored.
So they decided to censor the LGBTQ plus elements in the that needs to be modified before the game would be allowed to release. And you know what's funny about this? Okay. You know what's funny about this? The crazy part is that a couple years ago when Spider-Man, when did Spider-Man come out on PC? A couple years ago. What am I saying? When did that come out on PC?
I think it's 2021. I think I'm gonna double
Okay.
check
Yeah.
it though.
Cool. So a couple years ago, when they had Spider-Man come out on PC, there were a couple mods going around where they deliberately removed the flag and replaced it with some American flags, right? And whoever runs the mods on those sites, what are they called?
I'm
Singer?
sorry, it came out last year.
Modders.
August of last year is when it came out.
They're modders, Luca.
What are they called? The people who like ban them.
Moderators.
Okay, so like the moderators were banning people for making mods that remove LGBT stuff, right? And like that's just so funny to me because it's just kind of like, all right, well, I guess it's only okay to take that stuff out when it's the official developers and to do it to make money. It's not okay to just do it to do it, huh? It's different than if making money is the main goal, you know? And it's not Insomniac themselves, it's Sony who had them remove those elements from the game in order to sell. So I get that, you know? But I just think it's kind of like it's got me scratching my head because it's like once again, these things don't really matter, you know? They're there to just say that, "Oh, this game is inclusive and this game, features, the diversity element," but if they can be removed so easily that it's not even an intrinsic part of the story, then what's the point, you know? And it's like, I guess it's cool to have that diversity, oh, but only in the West, right? So let's see here. The mission apparently still exists in the Middle Eastern version of Spider-Man 2, but it's been changed so the two boys are no longer in a romantic relationship. So I don't know. I mean,
Huh.
what do you guys think about this?
I mean, are you surprised? Like, no one's surprised that every game that releases over there has to have some sort of censoring. You always hear about it. Like games having to be censored to go to like China or what it was one of Wolfenstein that had to remove the Nazi flags.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Wolfenstein, yeah.
Yeah.
sure.
They
Mhm.
did. Yeah.
Yeah. So it happens all over the place for different reasons. But money speaks. So if they gotta remove an asset in the game to make some money, I mean, you do what you gotta do. Your overlord told you to remove it, so you
I mean, they
gotta
didn't
do it.
have it. They didn't have a choice. They didn't have a choice. It's not their
Yeah,
fault that they had to remove it. But again, if it's so inconsequential that it can be removed so easily, then again, I have to ask, like, what is the point? And like, that's not even speaking on the fact that we care so much about Miles's heritage. We care so much about his heritage. Oops, we mixed up the Cuban and Puerto Rican flag. How much do you actually care? It's giving I'm smelling file names being called Bonobo behind the scenes, Halo Infinite. Like it's giving we actually
Whoopsie.
don't give a fuck. Like
Whoopsie. We named Juneteenth about black people being free after apes. That was an accident. Didn't mean that on purpose,
Yeah.
clearly.
We didn't mean that. Partner.
Pardon our ignorance, non-ignorance. But yeah.
Said
Yeah.
no one.
Yeah, I'm not shocked at all because when it comes to money, as I was saying earlier on the previous topic, when it comes to like leadership and stuff, like companies say all kinds of things publicly all the time. They want you to believe they're so progressive, they're so forward thinking. We think just like you, and behind the scenes, they're just like, oh, oh, they don't want us to have that in there. They're not going to allow the game to launch in that country at all. Really? Take it out. Yeah, I know what we said, but I'm telling you to take it out because I want to get paid. So
exactly. So Geekhead favorite comment said, Geekhead said, "We're so progressive, but we will not stand on business." What a bunch of bozos. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. It's like, okay, so this is how they handled the censorship for Black Cat. In the version of the game released elsewhere in the world, Black Cat makes mention of a girlfriend, which would likely be against the rules laid out by Saudi Arabia's General Authority of Media Regulation. So I'm assuming that she doesn't mention her girlfriend. I mean, it's a throwaway fucking line. And honestly speaking, I thought she was
yeah.
lying because that's what
I
she
thought
does.
she
Okay,
was
she's a
lying
fucking
too. I
liar.
was like, yo, this is really your girlfriend the same way that you have a son, huh? Really? Yeah. You're whatever, Black Cat. I thought she was lying, but I was going to help her anyway because, like, who wants to get killed by Craven? So
Exactly.
yeah,
So honestly, exactly, Ronald. They're virtue signaling cucks. All right. I hate that shit. It's clear that they don't actually care. All right. So it is what it is, right? It is what it is, and I'm not surprised at all by this choice, and I don't care.
yeah.
But I care enough to talk about it because I need stuff to talk about for the show. Where is my Oh my God, where is this? Can I see my community notes, please? Like, hello? Okay, here we go. The way they be changing shit on YouTube, man. Like, goddamn. All right, community tab. Okay, so I said y'all got any topics for the show? All right, so we're gonna go ahead and zoom in. All right, so Halo Jeff asked, this one I find interesting. Seeing as now people on Twitter are making money from, I believe, in engagement tweets. My question for you guys, since I'm not on Twitter myself, is has it gotten better or worse with the trolling? It's gotten worse. Yeah, it's gotten
Significantly worse.
significantly worse. Significantly fucking worse. It's bad. It's really bad right now. And I don't really spend a lot of time on Twitter in comparison to how much time I used to spend on Twitter. But the time I do spend on Twitter, I see it and I'm just like, okay, like this is a little it's a little fucking spooky.
You know, when it was when it really hit me was the other day when Sarah Bond got promoted and everyone was congratulating her, and then there was this fake tweet that came out from Post Up about, you know, congratulating her and saying some crazy stuff, and it was just super inappropriate. And then the homie what's the name? J-Dub responded talking like, you know, talking real crazy in the tweet and retweeting it, and then told him, then he found out that it wasn't Poster. Poster was like, that's disrespectful, you know, I expect more from you. And then it was like, hey, was that not you? And he was like, no, that wasn't me. He was like, oh, no, I'm sorry, brother. He apologized in the tweet and everything to him. But then in the same tweet said, hey, I'm going to leave that tweet up because engagement. He was like, you know, it's crazy out here because all these people out here with these blue check marks, and some people probably hiding their blue check mark because they out here just saying crazy stuff because people are engaging with it, and they're getting.
And you can tell they still have it because their word count in their tweets is like so much.
Right.
Clearly, you don't have a word limit like the rest of us. So yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I know you have it.
Those tweets are a little bit longer than everybody else's. I mean, I'm not hating on anybody for doing that. But that was just the first time that I heard, I saw it, and I was like, dang, people are literally, even if you know what you were saying was wrong, you are willing to say, I'm keeping that tweet up because engagement. I was like, wow, okay.
There are people bold-faced lying about stuff, and then there are people in their replies going through their tweet history and showing that they're lying about the things that they're saying in their tweet, and they don't care.
Well, part of it was think about
engagement.
Well, think about the David Jaffe stuff. It was like, I don't have a problem with David Jaffe coming out and saying the things he said about, you know, what was going to happen with Sony and everything. But the thing that was real interesting about it was he could have just he made it a members only post. He could have just made it an actual video and just talked about it. But
no, it was a video.
No. It was a members only video at first, though. Think about it. Remember the first time he talked about it was a members only video. And then he posted the tweet about the members only video to everybody. And then the next morning when people started talking about it and the news outlets got a hold of it, that's when he went live and started talking about it to everybody. But it was like, dang, you could have just made the video public instead of shouting out the channel, trying to get engagement that way, and then engagement on Twitter on top of it. So it was just real interesting just to see how people are moving. I'm not saying that's what his intentions was.
Well, that's absolutely what his intentions was.
No. But that's the thing though. But I'm not trying to be the person that's going to sit here and say like, oh, 100% that's what your intentions were. You know,
but those were
I believe that was his intention, but that's what I'm saying.
That's how I perceived it.
Yeah, okay? That's how I perceived it too, but I can't say with 100% certainty that's the case. But the fact that that's even a thing that we're thinking about lets me know that it's kind of gotten crazy out here with the way that people are saying. And you really can't trust what people are saying and if they really believe what they're saying, because now you're getting paid to say it technically.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it's gotten worse, but it's also gotten better because there's the community notes that can be like, "No, this person's fucking lying." So, that's the good
Yeah,
aspect
but
of
then
it.
the community notes they show up like after so many people have already engaged with it, and then the same people who have seen the misinformation may not have seen like go back and see the tweet again to see the community notes. I do agree with like some people were saying that like if you get a number of your tweets being corrected by community notes, that you should have like all like if a community note has to come in and correct your tweet, that you should no longer have those impressions and engagement counted towards your Twitter check at the end of the month or whatever. Like so that because that would curb people lying intentionally and making up stuff and misinformation on purpose in order to drive up engagements, because it's more than just stuff that's going on in video games. It's political stuff. There are people taking videos that are not pertaining to a particular event that's going on right now and saying, making up stories about it and putting it up there so that people will look at it and it's not real. And so that's misinformation of real life events going on in the world, and they're doing that for engagement. If you get community nodes and stuff like that, you shouldn't get credit for that to go towards Elon Musk paying you. So essentially, at this point, Elon Musk is paying people to give misinformation about important things. That's. I mean, stuff like that happens on Facebook, and it's the reason why people don't take Facebook seriously.
Well,
and
the other thing was like, yesterday, or it might have been the day before yesterday, I go on Twitter and you got people looking up skirts on Spider-Man. I like looking at this dude. This dude literally went into the picture, the photo mode, and literally was going up the skirt of a girl, like girls on Spider-Man. And you can see that they had
NPCs.
Yes, NPCs.
Yeah, that's a level of depravity that
you didn't see it slow mo.
I don't think I've seen that.
I bookmarked it, brother. I'll send it to you.
What don't get is
guess how many views it had, slow mo. Impressions. It had already 4.1 million impressions.
The thing is, people do that. Why don't you just go on full on degeneracy mode and just get the nude mode, and just make everything? There we go.
They're just
well, it's still on PS5.
Well, yeah, but it's like, just wait for it to come to PC and then have fun. Like, you don't have to go through all that photo mode shenanigans. No.
I don't remember why he was doing that. But I saw it and I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna read through this, and I just kept scrolling. So, okay, so. Ronald wants to say, okay, he said 2023 has been a good year in gaming in a while. What previous years can you think of that brought great games, and what year can you think brought the worst? Ooh, this is a great question. So let's start from 20.
Well, you gotta go back 20.
No, you gotta go way back.
You gotta go like at least to like the early 2006, 2007, stuff like that.
All right, so let's do 2007 games.
Okay. That was Halo.
2007 had BioShock, Super Mario Galaxy, COD 4, Modern Warfare, Uncharted, Drake's Fortune, Portal, Stalker, Shadow of Chernobyl.
Yeah, Chernobyl.
Silent Hills Origins, which I don't know about that one, but the first Assassin's Creed. Wait, no. Assassin's Creed Revelations. Mass Effect. Okay.
Yes, sir.
First Witcher game. God of War 2. Okay. So 2007.
2007 was lit, bro.
Fantastic games. Let's look up 2008. 2008's games included Grand Theft Auto 4, Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots.
Guns of the Patriots, yeah.
Fallout 3, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Mirror's Edge, Gears 2, okay, Persona 4, Devil May Cry 4, Far Cry 2, Left 4 Dead, God of War Chains of Olympus,
Left 4 Dead,
Fable 2, Saints Row 2, which is my favorite Saints Row. That is such a fucking fantastic game.
That's a Fable 2.
Prince of Persia, Spider-Man Web of Shadows, okay?
One of the better ones.
Great list there too. All right, let's look up 2009 games. Right. In 2009, we got Uncharted 2, Batman Arkham Asylum, COD
Uh-oh.
Modern Warfare,
Ooh,
Yes, sir.
Dragon Age Origins slow-mo,
Yeah.
ooh,
Assassin's
that's a
Creed
good
2,
year.
Left
yeah.
4 Dead 2.
Borderlands.
Let me see if it's.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
a solid year.
Borderlands came out.
Halo ODST.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
Halo 3.
ODST was that year.
Yeah,
Prototype.
Borderlands. Um,
Good
ooh,
game.
Prototype was so good.
X-Men
Yeah,
Origins Wolverine.
another
That was
one that was
good.
fucking amazing. Fucking what a fantastic game. So that was a good year too. Okay, let's go 2010 games. Mass Effect 2, make some fucking noise for the GOAT.
Let's
Make some
go.
fucking
One of the
noise
best
for the
games
GOAT.
ever.
Greatest game in
The
my
first
opinion.
Red Dead Redemption. All right.
Yes,
Shout out to
sir.
Jack.
Great
Mario
game.
Galaxy 2, StarCraft 2, Wings of Liberty, COD
Ooh,
Black,
good game.
Fallout New Vegas,
Fantastic game.
God of War 3,
Yes, sir.
Alan Wake, Halo Reach.
Oh,
Let's
man.
go. The GOAT.
The GOAT.
Halo Reach.
Still the best Halo game to this day, I
Yo,
believe.
Halo Reach's ending is a masterpiece. The way
Best campaign in Halo.
Yep, I
Easy.
agree.
Easy.
All right. Let's do
Oh,
2011.
hold on. Heavy Rain came out in 2010. Jason!
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 Jason! All right. 2011 had Portal 2, Batman Arkham City, Uncharted
Okay.
3, Drake's Deception,
Trace Deception. Hanging
The
off
Legend
a
of
plane.
Zelda Skyward Sword, Deus Ex Human Revolution, LA
Fantastic
Noire,
game.
Saints Row the Third, Gears 3,
They jumped the shark.
Battlefield 3,
Great
Dead
game.
Space 2, Infamous 2, Dark
Space 2,
Souls,
baby.
make some noise,
Oh.
Souls games, goated, Assassin's Creed Revelations, The Witcher 2, Assassins of King, which is that combat, but good game from what I played of it, story-wise at least. Dragon Age 2, which I know people hate to hear it, my favorite Dragon Age, okay? My favorite Dragon Age. The first Minecraft, and then Mortal Kombat,
What was Minecraft? 2010?
2011.
Oh, 11. Okay.
2012 games include Borderlands 2, Mass
Yo,
Effect
Good
3,
game.
That's
Good
where
game.
That's where it all
Halo
started,
4,
baby.
Good
Far
game.
Cry 3, aka the best. Such a
Far
good
Cry.
game. The Dishonored,
Pagan
which
is.
is fucking amazing.
Yep.
Max Payne 3, Diablo
Yep.
3, Assassin's Creed 3, Hitman Absolution, Prototype 2, Sleeping Dogs, Spec Ops: The
Ooh,
Line,
Sleeping Dogs.
Dragon's
Spec Ops
Dogma.
The Line.
Lord, they
Man.
were eating.
Man,
They were fucking eating,
man,
dude.
games were so great back
Now,
Yeah,
this is making me
games
feel
was
like I'm
the years were
feeling
so
I'm
good.
feeling nostalgic, I'm feeling that. All right, so 2013 we had Grand Theft Auto 5,
And we still got Grand
BioShock
Theft Auto
Infinite.
5.
True.
Best
Assassin's
BioShock
Creed
game.
4,
Infinite.
Black Flag, The Last of Us,
Good.
Saints
Last
Row
of Us.
4, The Stanley Parable, DMC Devil May Cry. Okay, I know some people didn't like that.
I like DMC. Punk rock. Let's
The
go.
Wolf Among Us. Oh, man.
Injustice,
Wait.
Gods Among Us, Batman Arkham Origins,
The weakest one.
Outlast, which is one I do like, Dead Space 3.
Someone would never play that game.
Wait,
Tomb
so
Raider.
Black Flag was 2013? Wow.
That's around the time I
Yeah.
started getting that Assassin's Creed fatigue. All right,
I
2014.
Wait,
2014
you
had.
didn't like Black Flag?
I don't like the sailing stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2014 had Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor,
Solid
Dragon Age
game.
Inquisition. Shout out to my game of the year.
Solid game.
Far Cry 4, Wolfenstein: The New Order, another great game.
Yes, sir.
Mhm.
Alien Isolation, Dark
So
Souls
good.
2, Bayonetta 2, Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U,
Let's go.
The Evil Within, Titanfall, Divinity: Original Sin. Make some noise.
Titanfall.
Okay.
Yes,
Mhm.
Divinity and
Divinity.
Titanfall. Let's go.
All right. Sunset Overdrive, the Left Behind DLC for The Last of Us. Okay, Nautical slow-mo singer. Destiny. Yes, make some noise. Go ahead.
Yes, let's go.
That's
Destiny.
when we started our
Woo.
careers, 2014, and still going.
Yay.
Tales from the
Actually-
Borderlands.
Actually, no. Our career didn't start there. Our career was standing outside the loot cave.
All right.
That was our career.
That was our
Five Nights
career,
at
right?
Freddy. All right, so 2015 had Metal Gear Solid 5.
Did you
The
say
Phantom Pain.
did you say Forza Horizon 2 and Sunset Overdrive?
Yeah,
I
she
said
did.
Sunset Overdrive.
Okay.
All right, so 2015 had Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, Bloodborne, aka my favorite Souls game, Fallout 4, which I
Good
put
game.
like 200 plus hours in, Slomo's favorite game, Until Dawn, okay,
Yes, go.
Rocket League, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Halo 5 Guardians, okay, Batman Arkham Knight, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Dying Light, Just Cause 3, Mad Max, Undertale, Mortal Kombat 10, Xenoblade
That's a
Chronicles
pretty
10.
bad year or underwhelming year.
Yeah, I mean Bloodborne and Fallout 4 for me,
Yeah, but there's no
Might be
other
honest.
like multiple standard apart from those two.
Yeah. It started getting a little spooky. It started getting a little spooky around then. No, that's not true. The Witcher 3 came out in 2015 as well. So those three
okay.
games.
Okay,
Those
yeah,
three
it's
games.
redeemed.
That
It's
might-
redeemed.
Game
Yeah,
of that
it's redeemed.
generation.
Witcher 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So things are starting to look a little spooky now. Okay, so we got Uncharted 4, A Thief's End, which is great, right? Okay. The Last Guardian,
in 2016.
2016, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Final Fantasy. Oh my Lord, have mercy. I'm not good with the Roman numerals. Which Final Fantasy came out?
15.
15? Okay.
Yeah.
Overwatch.
Trash.
Okay. Dark Souls 3, which I
Boo.
fucking love. I love it. Titanfall 2.
Good
XCOM
game.
2,
Very good game.
Dishonored 2,
XCOM
which is a good game.
Did you see XCOM 2?
Yeah.
Goated.
Yeah,
Goated year.
XCOM
I don't
2 is
care what
awesome.
else. I don't care what else came out that year. That's goated year.
All right. Forza Horizon 3, Doom,
Very good.
The best one
Watch Dogs 2, No Man's Sky, Gears 4,
before the game got
Hitman,
fixed.
Persona 5. That's my jam. Pokemon Sun and Moon. Okay, so
The Division.
okay.
You have to make sure he gets that in.
Not the
Oh, wait,
Division
the-
2, the Division.
The game that hardly anyone plays.
The innovative one.
Uh-huh.
All right. So, 2017 we had Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. All right. Horizon Zero Dawn. Resident Evil 7
You said
Biohazard.
Dawn? Dawn or Yawn?
I said Dawn.
Zero
I thought
awards.
you
She
said
said.
yawn.
Get it right.
What are
No,
you
no, no.
talking
She
about?
said zero
I said yawn.
awards. No,
I think it swore she said Horizon Zero Yawn.
No,
She
I
did.
said
Go ahead.
but
Super Mario
Hellblade.
Odyssey, Hellblade, Near Automata, Cuphead, Night in the Woods, What Remains of Edith Finch, aka Depression
awesome.
Simulator.
Hey, that's a great game though. Great game.
All right, Prey, Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, which I did enjoy. There's one moment in Wolfenstein 2 that took me out though, but overall great game.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Origins, Destiny 2, Injustice 2, The Evil Within 2, Neo, Gravity Rush 2, Divinity
Gravity Rush
Original
2 is
Sin
good.
2, Middle
Yes,
Earth, Shadow of War,
Hollow
game.
Knight.
Mass Effect, Andromeda.
Oh.
hey,
my
Mass
God.
Effect was a good game. Bad story.
Okay,
What?
Life is Strange Before the
Andromeda?
Storm.
Yeah.
They could have kept those Ryder twins.
Mm. You can
No.
move on.
The only
We can
thing
move
good
on.
about that game was the fact that it was the best looking and best playing game in the franchise. That's
It was the best playing. Like the gameplay was
was best
actually
playing,
really,
yeah.
really good.
It felt
The
good.
story just sucked ass. I mean,
And the Ryder
it was-
twins and the Ryder twins were horrible.
So
Yes.
okay, so 2018 has Red Dead Redemption 2, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Far Cry 5, Celeste, Detroit Become Human, Sea of Thieves, Octopath Traveler, A Way Out, Shadow of the Colossus, Forza Horizon 4, Fallout 76, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Hitman 2, Shadow of the Tomb Raider,
That
Kingdom
is a
Come
good year.
Deliverance.
That was a good year.
That was a
Gris,
good year.
Frostpunk.
Hey, what do you know about
Uh,
Frostpunk?
I enjoy Frostpunk. It was a lot of fun. I
Yes.
really
Right.
liked that one.
So 2019 had Control, Resident Evil 2, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, aka GOAT! One of the best games. Best combat in the Souls, quote unquote, Souls franchise. Best combat that FromSoft has done, at least from their modern games. Sekiro's fucking awesome. Game of the year that year, okay? Deserves. Okay, and then The Outer Worlds, which I know Slow-Mo loves, all right? Um, Fire Emblem Three Houses, aka crack cocaine. You know, I absolutely
Mm-hmm.
love that game.
Mm-hmm. No, that
Such
was
a
my
good
game of the
game.
year that year.
Such
That
a
was my
good
game of the
game.
year.
Yep.
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, okay. Death Stranding, Devil May Cry 5, Gears 5, Metro Exodus, Tom Clancy's The Division 2,
UPS
Apex
Stranding.
Legends, Mortal Kombat 11, Disco Elysium, Borderlands 3,
Oh,
Kingdom
such a
Hearts
good
Disco
3,
game.
Elysium is so good.
So
Pokemon
good.
Yeah.
Sword and Shield.
That's a solid year.
Great year, great year.
It was a
All
great
right.
year.
Ooh. Mhm.
This is
Okay.
an excellent year. You said Division 2, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
because Division 2 came out that year as
So
well. I'm just-
2020 had Final Fantasy VII Remake, Animal Crossing New Horizons, The Last of Us Part 2, Cyberpunk 2077, Ghost of Tsushima, Doom Eternal, Ori and the Will of the Wisp, Half-Life, Alex, Spider-Man, Miles Morales,
Oh,
Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Watch Dogs Legion. Damn, I've been in this community a long fucking time. Jesus, I remember the release of most of these games.
yep.
20
Cyberpunk.
That's
Yeah.
a solid year.
Solid year. All right, 2021 might be the year. It might be the year that was spooky. I mean, it had some okay. Halo Infinite, Deathloop, Hitman
Mhm.
3, Resident
Halo-
Evil Village, Psychonauts 2, Returnal, which traumatic experience. Forza Horizon 5, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, Metroid Dread, It Takes Two, great game. Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, Death's Door, Kana, Bridge of Spirits, Life is Strange, True Colors, Age of Empires 4,
Goated.
Shin Megami Tensei 5, Outriders, which I did enjoy that.
The
Okay,
Forgotten City came out that year. That was
I
actually
mean,
pretty good too.
it's okay year.
that year isn't too spooky. Like,
Too
there's a
spooky, yeah.
bunch of good stuff in there.
All right, so 2022 had Elden King. All right,
Elden King.
okay,
King-
then it had Horizon Snooze Fest. Then Stray,
One
God
of two
of War
games.
Ragnarok, God of War Ragnarok, Pokemon Legends Arceus, Tunic, Splatoon 3, Marvel Snap Neon White, Cult of the Lamb, aka Crack Cocaine Simulator for me. Like, goddamn, I was addicted to that game. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, Pentiment, Last of Us Part
Fantastic
1.
game.
Yo, it's last year. Last year is the
last
worst
year.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
last
the
year was the
last
worst
worst
year
year.
is the worst
Yeah.
year. Yeah,
Definitely the worst
2022
year.
is the weakest out of all
I'm
of
looking
that.
at this list and I see a lot of disappointment and a lot of just
Mhm.
it was okay, but not like oh my god, like how we were like oh that game, yeah, like there's none of
Yeah.
that.
You
in
notice how as we
2022.
go on and as we went on in the years, our enthusiasm started to slip. Like, oh,
Mine
yeah,
didn't. Mine
not
didn't
yours. You
because
play,
good games.
yeah, you play a lot of a variety of games. All right, so yeah, great question, Ronald. Thank you. Bless wants to talk about thoughts on the lack of game preservation today. I mean, honestly speaking, it's inevitable. Like, there's just
Mhm.
nothing we can really do about it, especially at these studio. Like, what are we actually gonna do
The
if
only thing,
Microsoft or Sony decide to like, take away the disk drive for the next system? There's nothing we can do about that. Are you just not gonna play on those systems? I don't know, man.
the only
Yeah, I
thing I
see a
could
lot of
think
people
of.
always saying. Well, I see a lot of people always saying if they do X, I'm no longer going to be in gaming anymore. And I'm always like, yeah, okay. I'll when it happens and they do X, people stay in gaming because they know you're full of it and they know you're not going to change anything and they know they got you. So they'll continue to do things and you'll just adjust and deal with it.
I
You're not
do-
going to leave gaming.
I do
The thing with-
wonder. Go ahead, Seeger. Go ahead.
With game preservation, I'm not too worried because if you like, I have every generation all the way back to the original Atari at my fingertips, all the games, and even the current games being released on PC. You can get a version that doesn't require a launcher, doesn't require a browser, doesn't require an internet connection. you could just get a copy of the game and play it whenever you want. So I know it's not physical, so that part of
I
it
think
is not.
I think that's what he meant, though.
Yeah, that's what he
Oh, he
means.
means the physical
Yeah.
part
Yeah,
instead
that's
of.
the only time people
So-
only talk about game preservation when they're talking about the physical.
So
Good.
Oh, okay.
I try not, because people always get butthurt. They always say, "Oh, you only say that because you work at a game store and it affects you and stuff." Yeah, that's true. But I always try to tell people this. This is what you got to think about. You got to know, you got to understand what you're giving up for the ability to have convenience. Convenience can only take you so far. And if you're willing to go on your system, buy a game, have it download to your system, outset, besides leaving your house to go get the game, just like we say with everything else, when these companies see people do that, they start saying, well, hey, we could start pivoting this way, on top of the fact that they don't have to pay those stocking fees that usually places like GameStop, Walmart, Target and stuff charge, like 10, 15, 20% on top of whatever they're getting for just selling the game in the store. So yeah, you're giving up the ability to have physical media and game preservation in that state for convenience. That you're literally trading convenience for the physical media. And people don't think about that when they hit buy on their system. When it's nothing wrong with that. You have the ability to do it, but this is the thing that people also don't think about. There's a lot of games that's on your system right now that you will never touch ever again. They're just stuck on your digital library. Sure, you can go in there and look at it and all this other stuff, but those are the same people who will tell you that I don't like looking at a wall of games on my wall because I feel like they have value. And it's kind of hypocrite. It's like hypocrisy when it comes to that. But I don't think people really think about the things that they do and how it affects how things are going to happen in the future. And there's nothing wrong with thinking that way, but you can't scream game preservation when you're part of the problem, even if you're doing it seldomly. And you kind of gotta lay where you sleep at, man, when it comes to stuff like that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's inevitable. At this
Yeah, it's gonna
point.
happen.
Especially with the younger
precedent for
generation,
it.
like they are glued to their fucking screens, dude, and it's all
Yeah.
mobile. Okay, so shout out to Dom Slayer's say the GI Jane missions. We definitely talked about
No,
that.
She do
All
be
right.
in there strong though.
Lax wants to talk about what's Game of the Year nomination since everything's out. All right, I'll say it then. It will
Avatar's
be
not out.
It won't make it. That's out in December.
RoboCop's not out. No, I'm just talking. Go ahead, Luca.
all right. So the Game of the Year nominations will most likely be Zelda, Breath.
Yep.
What's Zelda? Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate 3. What were the other ones that we said?
Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2.
You'll also need to put in Super Mario Wonder.
Yeah,
Yes,
Super
sir.
Mario Wonder.
And then you'll also probably throw in.
I'm gonna make a proclamation today.
Okay.
I want
Starfield.
I want y'all. I want the people that vote on this to put all of their hate to the side, and I want them to put Hogwarts Legacy in there. Because I guarantee if they put, because this is the thing, that game definitely deserves to be in the conversation for it. And the only reason it's not, or it won't be, is because of stuff that somebody on the outside has nothing to do. Like, yes, she owns the IP, but she has nothing to do with that game. So I feel like celebrate the developers that made the game and stop trying to crucify the person that literally she already benefited from the game because people are still buying the game. The game is literally the most sold game that came out this year up until this point. So have the balls and put that game in there. And I guarantee you, if that game makes it in there, that game will win Game of the Year. It will win.
It will.
No, it
It's
won't.
not. It will.
It's not.
One, it's not going to win Game of the Year because it's not the best game to come out this year. So even if it was given a fair shake to be in there, I do deserve it. It deserves to be a nominee. It's not
What
better
then
than
what?
Spider-Man 2. It's not better than Baldur's Gate 3. It's not going to win.
So when I asked you the other day, Slow Mo, which one of those would? So I guess, well, which one would you vote for if it was in
Oh,
there?
Lord.
I don't know right now. I'm still kind of
Because
undecided on what my favorite is.
You told me, well, see, you change every day because you said up
What?
until that point, you change every
What?
day. It seems like
What?
because you said
What?
during Brap, you said that what's the name was still it's still the best game you played this year.
I did
What
not say
game?
that.
Yes, you
I said it's
did.
one of the best games I've played this year. That's
Okay.
why I said it deserves to be nominated, but it
Okay.
won't be nominated, as we all know.
Yeah, I
And
just can't imagine they want to bring up that discourse from earlier
Well,
this
they're
year. Like,
not.
what a headache.
They're not going to put it in there, but they should, because stop being scared and just put it in there.
It's
And
not
let
about a matter of fear for Jeff. It's a matter of publicity. He has to be mindful of PR at this point. It
Yeah,
matters. It matters,
he doesn't want to
Nautical.
lose
It matters.
investors. He doesn't want
Okay.
to lose
Yeah.
investors. Yeah.
So
So
the 4 guarantees are Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, and Mario Wonder. And then the last 2 you can, well, I mean, you've
Starfield
got your
maybe, and
Starfield.
then their token indie. What indie came out this year?
I don't think
Actually,
they're
I
going to do
don't
a
think
token
there'll be
indie
a
this
token.
year.
I think it'll be
Yeah,
something
it's
like
just too many games.
RE4 or Alan
Mm.
Wake 2 or something.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, Alan Wake 2 got like a 90 something.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
that could be in it. And my personal game of the year, though, is Baldur's Gate 3 because
Nice.
nothing could touch that this year. That is,
Yeah,
oof.
bro, I have not played enough games this year to have a game of the year. I'm gonna keep it a stack, man. But okay. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Black Dragon. Okay, wants to talk about Jujutsu Kaisen's poor animation in recent episodes. Have you been watching Jujutsu Kaisen? This is
You definitely
directed
talking
towards
to Stinger,
Stinger,
right?
obvious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, I am watching Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, my bad.
How's the animation been?
As he said, it. I mean,
Oh,
the
this is that
animation.
bad?
The animation. I think someone cut the budget.
I mean, they're working on so many things. Like, they're probably just exhausted. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you, man.
Well,
They're
I mean,
doing a lot.
to be fair, they like the anime industry is absolutely horrendous. You're working
is,
like
yeah.
80-hour weeks, like you are ran off your feet. So
That's why so many mangaka have fucking health issues. Yeah.
yeah, that's why they die in like their 50s and whatever. It's because
Yeah.
they've been running to the ground for the past 40 years. But
Yeah,
I
okay, well,
mean,
I stopped watching. I haven't come back to Jujutsu Kaisen since they finished like the preview arc. And mind you, I don't read the manga. I have no idea what the actual arc is called, right? But the arc where it's Gojo and Geto as kids or
mhm.
whatever, that's the last time I watched it. I do have to come back. I'm gonna come back and watch though. So, I mean, honestly speaking, like those people are fucking running to the ground. And that studio is working on like fucking so many popular titles. Like, I think y'all need to start being serious for 1 second and start being like, having some empathy for them. Like, I mean, it makes
Oh yeah,
sense. Of course, the quality's gonna suffer when they're overworked, man. So I don't
but
know.
also you have to allocate budgets between shows, right? So which
Mhm.
show is more popular will get the most amount of money for the
Which
studio.
I think Attack on Titan's more popular. Yeah, Attack on Titan
It
has to be
is.
more popular than Jujutsu Kaisen.
And
So
if you notice, Attack on Titan's animation did took a dip. So, I mean, is all the budget going towards Attack on Titan? Maybe. I mean, you have to allocate your funds somehow, right? So,
yeah. Oh, and then
Yeah, it's
Chainsaw
true.
Man. No, all that budget went to fucking Chainsaw Man because that shit was fire.
oh yeah, true.
All right, so let's see here. And then Alan Wake 2 reviews plus no physical disc. There's no physical disc for Alan Wake 2.
Nope, they made digital only for it.
Yep.
Okay, that's game preservation blessed. I know what you're saying. Alan Wake 2 reviews were good, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what that you know what? That's not true. I know what Alan Wake is about, but I have no interest in playing that game. Like, but
I have less interest now after playing that game.
All I kept hearing Slow-Mo said, but this is a good looking game. But oh boy, did Luca in the chat like this looks boring, but is it fun?
Yeah. So, maybe I'll watch the Rad Brad play it if he ends up playing it. But the reviews are good. It's like at 88 right now. Okay,
Yeah.
so, um,
It went down to an 88.
mhm.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, I don't have much to say about no physical disc. Like, I mean, I'm not really surprised. Again, I feel like this is inevitable, man. And then we did Game of the Year nominees. Final thoughts. Okay, Sarah Bond. Shout out to her. Matt Booty. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Dwight Howard being gay and rape allegations. So I feel we might have talked about Dwight Howard a couple years ago when they were talking about him being gay.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember that conversation?
I vaguely remember
Vaguely
it.
remember it. Yeah.
Some was
He's
it? Okay, it
there
could
have
have
been
been a different
allegations
person.
about him ever since he's been in the league, though. So it's like
Yeah.
it's not a shocker. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
okay, so basically, let me see. Okay, I definitely feel like we talked about this because I the story is so familiar. Where are my bookmarks at? Lord have mercy. Man, I
Look,
do not know.
how many items do you have in your bookmarks?
Quite a few, but I'm talking about my bookmarks on my phone.
Oh, on your phone. Got
Okay,
you.
so Dwight Howard's has come out and almost damn, how that fucking flashing. Dwight Howard's come out and no one is talking about it because of the allegations. So, Dwight Howard has been defending himself from assault and battery accusations in civil court. All right, let's see here. In 2021, he he met somebody named Stephen Harper on Instagram,
Oh man.
and they, the conversation turned heated. All right. Um, Okay, so Howard didn't come out on his own. Harper's initial complaint included screenshots of an exchange between them and Howard, in addition to an Uber receipt corroborating parts of Harper's allegation about their relationship. And then in 2022, Harper filed an incident report with the Gwinnett County Police Department. Um, okay, so let's see. Howard denied being gay. Yeah, that makes sense. Harper alleges that Howard demanded a threesome, and then Howard performed okay, without consent, later forced him to do the same. Howard denied the allegations. The truth is, Mr. Howard blocked Mr. Harper on social media and then was confronted with two options: pay to protect his reputation or have a fabricated story made public. Okay. Um, Civil case will play out. I believe that what the hell was that? I believe that
Or so.
they were trying to police was trying to get, Harper to work with them about the, allegations, but Harper was unresponsive, yeah, so, I mean, honestly speaking, my thoughts on it is that I'm gonna wait for more information. That's those my fucking thoughts. I can't condemn or defend anybody if I don't have the full story yet, you know? So I'm just gonna wait and see how
Mm-hmm.
the situation plays out. If he was being blackmailed, I mean, that does make sense as well. If it's actually was an assault, like, okay, I say let's see what happens, you know? I mean, what do you sports guys think?
I'm gonna lean on your side of things and say just wait to see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I it's I hate speaking on stuff that we don't know the whole context of yet. And but this is nothing new. This is something that's been rumored and everything for like literally the second half of that man's whole entire career. Ever since he pretty much been in LA, it kind of been like this thing that people like talked about in those circles. So not surprised, but definitely don't want to cast any dispersion until we hear, more about what's happening.
Yeah, I say let's just wait for more information on that.
Right.
But you can let me know what you think about it, Black Dragon. So, okay, cool. Thank you for the topics, guys. Great topics this week. Appreciate it. Real quick, Matthew Perry has passed away allegedly. Um,
Yeah, it's crazy.
I listen. I have not watched one episode of Friends, but Friends was a huge show, and he played Chandler on the '90s
Mm-hmm.
sitcom. So, they say he passed away from drowning, which okay, that's super fucking suspicious. Like what? So
Yeah.
apparently he was dealing with some what was he dealing with? He was dealing with some addiction to drugs and alcohol, painkillers specifically, hooked on Vicodin for years. Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. Extended drug use and alcohol abuse can lead to issues with especially as you grow older. So maybe something happened there. Maybe something happened, and he was swimming and he wasn't able to get out of the pool in time. So or the hot tub in time.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm,
there's no signs of foul play. So maybe I mean it could they'll do the autopsy and they'll test for drugs as well. And then they'll also check his organ because you can tell what kinda how somebody died basically by looking at their insides. Okay. Anyway, do you guys have any thoughts? I never watched Friends again, but
I watched it a little bit. He's let me I didn't really care for the show. It was a stolen idea version of from Living Single. This is how I always viewed it, but um it's sad to see someone pass away in that manner because a drowning is always a shock to the people who care and love for a particular person. I'm not talking about fans out there, but this person's actual loved ones and friends and family. So sorry that that's happened, and hope they're able to recover and move on from this soon.
yeah. Alright. Um, yeah, I think that's it. I mean, we can talk about real quick this article that came out right before the show where Sony is doubting its multi-billion-dollar commitment on games as a service. You know what? Maybe those firings or people choosing to leave, whatever it is, maybe that is a little bit suspicious given the context of this article. So,
I
uh
think it's fake.
the article,
No, not the article. I think
the
I
rumor.
think they're just rumors that aren't true because it's coming from
Mm,
somebody. The original source of it all is coming from Reset Era. So I mean that's always kind of iffy. So
okay,
I
okay.
mean, Reset Era has been right about some things and wrong about others, so
What things have
yeah,
they been right about?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but I remember because Tom Warren and other people are on Reset Era themselves, and they talk to people, so probably one of those posts or something.
Hmm, okay. I guess we'll wait and see on that too. Hmm.
mm-hmm.
Is the source David I mean, David Jaffe he was right about that chick, Connie. So, I don't know. All right, let's go ahead and skedaddle. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Thank you so much. Nothing but love. So shout out to Singer. Yes.
Yes,
Mm,
yes, yes. Great show, great panel, great conversation, and great chat. And I shall see you next week.
yes. Nautical. Okay. It's your boy Forte. Catch me next week on Slow Mo's channel for
I
You
DPS
love.
forgot the name.
podcast.
You forgot
I,
the
lo-
name of the
No, I'm
show.
sorry. I was looking. I was
I was
looking at
just
this.
letting her go. I was letting her
No,
go.
I'm sorry. I was looking at something. I think there's
I,
something
I was letting her go
on the
slow mo.
ground.
She got
What
it.
the hell? DPS podcast and occasionally Brap. Okay. Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Did a good job, Luca. Appreciate
Mhm.
that.
Slow mo.
Yo, good show as usual. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Play your games, and we're out.
The
I'm
Rise of
out.
Mary Jane Chronicles of Flat Ass. Okay, let her live, man. Let her live. All right, peace.